Right now, as you listen to these words, 73% of people your age are waiting. They are waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for permission to start. And while they wait, their future is slipping through their fingers like sand. Here is the brutal truth that will either set you free or make you defensive. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your parents, not the economy, not luck, not some future version of yourself who magically has more motivation. Nobody. This is the most important realization you will ever have. And the next 10 minutes will determine whether you accept it or run from it. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly. How long have you been waiting? How many months or years have you spent believing that someday, somehow, things would just click into place? You have watched countless motivational videos. You have read the books. You have made the plans. You have set the alarms for 5 in the morning, only to hit snooze and tell yourself that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow comes and nothing changes. You know why? Because you are still waiting. You are sitting in what I call the waiting room of life, hoping someone will call your name. But here is what nobody tells you about that waiting room. There is no receptionist. There is no list. There is no one coming to call your name, because no one even knows you are there. You checked yourself in, and only you can check yourself out. Think about a seed buried in the ground. That seed does not wait for perfect conditions. It does not wait for the soil to become easier or the sun to shine brighter. It pushes. It cracks its own shell. It fights through the darkness of the dirt with absolutely no guarantee that it will ever see light. The seed does not know if it will become a mighty oak or get eaten by a bird, but it pushes anyway. That is the difference between those who save their future and those who waste it. One pushes without guarantees. The other waits for certainty that will never come. You have been lied to your entire life. Society told you that if you work hard and play by the rules, you will be rewarded. Your parents told you that you were special and the world will recognize your potential. School told you that good grades lead to good jobs, lead to good lives. But none of them told you the truth. The truth is that the world does not care about your potential. The world only cares about your output. The world does not reward what you could do. It rewards what you actually do. And right now, the gap between what you could do and what you are doing is destroying you from the inside. I know this because I know the silent guilt you carry. Every night, when you lie in bed, there is a voice. It whispers the same thing. You wasted another day. You had 24 hours, and you spent them scrolling, procrastinating, and making excuses. That voice is not your enemy. That voice is your future self, begging you to wake up before it is too late. Let me show you the difference between two types of people. The first type wakes up and checks their phone immediately. They scroll through social media, comparing their behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. They feel bad about themselves, so they scroll more to numb the feeling. By the time they start their day, they have already given away their best mental energy to strangers on the internet who do not even know they exist. They go to work, do the minimum, come home exhausted, and repeat. They tell themselves they will start their real goals next week, next month, after the holidays, after things calm down. Things never calm down. They die with their potential still inside them. The second type wakes up and immediately does the hardest thing on their list. They do not check their phone. They do not negotiate with themselves. They do not wait until they feel motivated because they understand something crucial. Motivation is a lie. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. Discipline is a decision, and decisions can be made regardless of how you feel. This type of person builds their future brick by brick, while the first type is still waiting for someone to hand them a finished house. Which one are you? And more importantly, which one do you want to be? Here is what makes this moment different from every other motivational message you have consumed. I am not here to make you feel good. I am not here to pat you on the back and tell you that everything will be okay. Everything will not be okay unless you make it okay. I am here to tell you that your excuses are killing your future. Every single one of them. The excuse that you do not have time is a lie. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The excuse that you do not have money is a lie. The internet has given you free access to more knowledge than every library in human history combined. The excuse that you do not know where to start is a lie. You know exactly where to start. You just do not want to start there because it is hard. The enemy is not external. The enemy is not your circumstances, your past, your boss, or the economy. The enemy is the version of you that chooses comfort over growth. The enemy is the voice that says sleep 5 more minutes, watch 1 more episode, start tomorrow. That voice has stolen more futures than any recession ever could. Think of your life as a building under construction. Right now, you have been sitting at the construction site, looking at the blueprints, imagining how beautiful the finished building will be. But imagination does not lay bricks. Planning does not pour concrete. Only action builds. And every day you spend planning without building, the weather damages what little foundation you have. The longer you wait, the more you will have to rebuild before you can even start moving forward. Nobody is coming with a construction crew. Nobody is coming with materials. Nobody is coming to build your life for you. The only hands that will ever build your future are attached to your own arms. And those hands have been idle for too long. I want you to understand something. This is not about being perfect. This is not about never failing or never struggling. This is about one simple decision. Will you save yourself, or will you keep waiting to be saved? Because that decision, made right now, in this moment, will echo through every remaining day of your life. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not extraordinary people. They are ordinary people who made one extraordinary decision. They decided that nobody was coming. They decided that waiting was over. They decided that their future was their responsibility and theirs alone. And then they acted on that decision every single day, even when it was hard, even when results were invisible, even when everyone around them told them to slow down and enjoy life. You have been enjoying life. Look where it got you. Perhaps it is time to build a life worth enjoying. This audiobook is not motivation. Motivation is temporary. This is a wake-up call. This is a manual for mental warfare against the weakest parts of yourself. In the chapters ahead, you will learn exactly how to stay disciplined when no one is watching, when results are not showing, when every part of you wants to quit. But none of that matters if you do not first accept the brutal truth we started with. Say it with me, even if only in your mind. Nobody is coming to save me. I am here. I am the one I have been waiting for. Now, the real question becomes, if nobody is coming, what exactly has been keeping you stuck in that waiting room? What invisible chains have convinced you that someone else holds the key to your future? In the next chapter, we will dissect the waiting room syndrome and expose the psychological trap that has kept millions of high-potential people paralyzed. What you discover might disturb you, but disturbance is the first step to freedom. Chapter 2: The Waiting Room Syndrome. 89% of people will spend their entire lives waiting for something that will never arrive. They will wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, the ideal circumstances. And while they wait, they will watch others with half their talent and twice their courage build the lives they only dreamed about. This is not a metaphor. This is a psychological prison that has a name, and chances are, you have been living inside it without even knowing the walls existed. Welcome to the waiting room syndrome. And today, we are going to burn that waiting room to the ground. The waiting room syndrome is the silent killer of potential. It disguises itself as patience. It pretends to be wisdom. It whispers that you are being strategic when you are really being afraid. Here's how it works. Your brain is designed to protect you from danger. Thousands of years ago, that danger was a tiger in the bushes. Today, that danger is rejection, failure, judgment, and discomfort. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a tiger that will kill you and an embarrassment that will sting for a week. So it treats both the same way. It makes you freeze. It makes you wait. It makes you believe that staying still is safer than moving forward. But here is what your brain does not understand. In the modern world, staying still is the most dangerous thing you can do. The tiger is not in the bushes anymore. The tiger is time. And time is eating your future while you sit in that waiting room, filling out forms that nobody will ever read. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two people, both 28 years old, both with the same education, same opportunities, same potential. The first person decides today is the day. No more waiting. They start the business, begin the workout routine, have the difficult conversation, make the investment in themselves. They are terrified, but they move anyway. The second person decides to wait. Just 6 more months, they tell themselves. Let me save a little more money. Let me learn a little more. Let me wait until the timing is better. 6 months pass, then a year, then 5 years, then 10. At 38, the first person has a decade of experience, failures they learned from, successes they built upon, and a life that looks nothing like where they started. At 38, the second person is still waiting, still planning, still telling themselves that next year will be their year. The gap between them is now so wide that it feels impossible to cross. But here's the cruel part. It was always impossible, not because of talent or luck, but because one person left the waiting room and one person never did. You might be thinking that you are different. You might be telling yourself that your situation is unique, that your obstacles are real, that your reasons for waiting are legitimate. Let me be direct with you. They are not. Every single person who ever achieved anything significant had reasons to wait. They had bills to pay, families to support, fears to face, and doubts to overcome. The difference is they refused to let those reasons become excuses. They understood something that the waiting room will never teach you. The perfect moment does not exist. There is only this moment and what you choose to do with it. Think about what waiting actually costs you, not in abstract terms, but in real, measurable losses. Every day you spend in the waiting room, you lose 24 hours of potential progress. That is 1,440 minutes of practice you did not get. That is hundreds of small improvements you did not make. Compound that over months and years, and you begin to see the true cost of waiting. You are not just losing time. You are losing the compounded returns of time invested wisely. The person who started 5 years ago is not 5 years ahead of you. They are decades ahead because growth compounds like interest. Here is something that will either wake you up or make you uncomfortable. Look at your current life. Your bank account, your body, your relationships, your skills. All of it is the direct result of decisions you made years ago. The body you have today is the result of how you ate and moved 3 years ago. The money you have today is the result of financial decisions you made 5 years ago. The skills you have today are the result of what you practiced a decade ago. This means one unavoidable truth. The life you will have in 5 years is being decided right now. Not tomorrow, not next month. Right now, in this moment, while you listen to these words. The waiting room convinces you that you have time. That is its greatest lie. You do not have time. You have borrowed time, and the loan is due sooner than you think. Nobody knows how many days they have left, but everybody knows they are spending days they will never get back. The question is whether you are spending them building or waiting. Let me expose the tricks the waiting room uses to keep you trapped. The first trick is the illusion of progress. You feel like you are doing something because you are thinking about doing something. You research, you plan, you prepare, you organize. All of these feel productive. None of them are. Thinking about push-ups does not build muscle. Planning a business does not generate revenue. Preparing to have a conversation does not fix the relationship. Only action creates results. Everything else is just sophisticated procrastination wearing a suit. The second trick is the comfort of company. The waiting room is crowded. Look around, and you will see millions of people just like you, all waiting, all planning, all hoping. This makes you feel normal. It makes you feel like waiting is what reasonable people do. But normal is not a destination you want to reach. Normal is broke. Normal is unfulfilled. Normal is lying on your deathbed wondering what could have been if you had just started. Do you want to be normal, or do you want to be free? The third trick is the fear of wasted effort. The waiting room whispers that if you start now and fail, you will have wasted your time and energy. But here is the truth about failure that successful people understand and unsuccessful people never learn. There is no such thing as wasted effort. Every failure teaches. Every mistake refines. Every setback builds resilience. The only truly wasted effort is effort not made. The only guaranteed failure is the failure to try. Consider how a building is constructed. Before the beautiful tower rises, there must be months of work that nobody sees. Digging foundations, laying pipes, setting rebar, pouring concrete. None of this looks impressive. None of this makes the news. But without it, the tower would collapse. Your future works the same way. The invisible work you do today, the discipline nobody sees, the early mornings and late nights and sacrificed pleasures, all of this is foundation work. And you cannot skip the foundation just because you are impatient to see the tower. The waiting room wants you to see the towers other people have built and skip straight to that part. It wants you to believe there is a shortcut, a hack, a way to have the results without the process. There is not. There never was. There never will be. The only way out is through, and through begins with leaving the waiting room forever. So how do you leave? You leave the same way you entered, with a decision. You decided at some point that waiting was safe. Now you must decide that waiting is death. Not physical death, but something worse. The death of your potential. The death of the person you could have become. The death of the future you were meant to build. Right now, I want you to make that decision. Not tomorrow. Not after this audiobook is finished. Right now. Say it out loud if you can, or say it silently in your mind. I am done waiting. The waiting room is closed. I am leaving today. But deciding to leave is only the first step. The waiting room has a gravitational pull. It will try to drag you back the moment things get hard. The moment results do not come as fast as you want. The moment you start to doubt yourself. That is why you need a protocol. A system for staying disciplined when nobody is watching, when progress is invisible, when every part of you wants to quit and go back to the comfortable prison you just escaped. In the next chapter, I will teach you that protocol. It is called the invisible build, and it is the difference between people who escape the waiting room temporarily and people who never go back. What you are about to learn is not taught in schools, not shared in most books, and not understood by 97% of the population. It is the blueprint for building an unshakable future, even when you cannot see the results of your work. The foundation is about to be poured. Are you ready to dig? Chapter 3. The Invisible Build Protocol. For exactly 422 days, a Chinese bamboo tree shows no visible growth above the ground. Nothing. You water it, you nurture it, you protect it, and for over a year, you see absolutely zero results. Most people would quit. Most people would assume the seed is dead, that their efforts are wasted, that they should try something else. But here is what happens on day 423. That bamboo tree shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. 90 feet, almost the height of a 10-story building. And it happens so fast that you can almost watch it grow in real time. This is not a motivational story. This is the most important lesson about discipline you will ever learn. And it explains why 97% of people fail at everything they start. They quit during the invisible build. The invisible build protocol is the period between starting and seeing results. It is the gap between planting the seed and harvesting the fruit. It is the months of going to the gym before anyone notices your body changing. It is the years of building a business before it becomes profitable. It is the countless hours of practice before you become skilled. This period breaks people, not because the work is too hard, but because the results are too hidden. Your brain is wired for immediate feedback. When you touch a hot stove, you feel pain instantly. When you eat sugar, you feel pleasure immediately. This wiring helped your ancestors survive, but it is destroying your future. Because the most valuable things in life operate on delayed feedback. The workout you do today will not show results for months. The money you invest today will not compound for years. The skills you practice today will not make you exceptional for a decade. And your brain hates this. Your brain screams that if you cannot see progress does not exist. Your brain is wrong. During those 422 days of invisible growth, the bamboo tree was not doing nothing. It was building a root system so massive, so deep, so strong that it could eventually support 90 feet of rapid growth. Without that invisible foundation, the visible growth would be impossible. The tree would shoot up and immediately collapse under its own weight. This is exactly what happens to people who skip the invisible build. They want the visible success without the invisible foundation. They want the six-pack without the months of consistent nutrition. They want the profitable business without the years of learning and failing. They want the successful relationship without the daily deposits of effort and attention. And so they collapse. Every single time. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Two people decide to transform their bodies. The first person understands the invisible build protocol. They know that for the first 60 to 90 days, they will see almost nothing in the mirror. Their weight might not change. Their clothes might fit the same. Other people will not notice any difference. But they also know that beneath the surface, everything is changing. Their metabolism is shifting. Their muscle fibers are rebuilding. Their hormones are rebalancing. They trust the process and keep showing up. The second person expects visible results in 2 weeks. When the scale does not move fast enough, they get discouraged. When they do not see abs after a month, they assume it is not working. They try a different diet, a different program, a different approach. They spend years jumping from method to method, never staying with anything long enough to see results. 10 years later, they look exactly the same, while the first person is unrecognizable. The difference was not genetics. The difference was not willpower. The difference was understanding that invisible progress is still progress. Here is the protocol for surviving and thriving during the invisible build. There are 3 phases, and you must master all 3. Phase 1 is called trust the seed. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. That would kill it. You trust that the process is working even when you cannot see it. You water it. You protect it from elements. And you wait. Your goals work the same way. Once you commit to a path, stop constantly evaluating whether it is working. Give it time. The evaluation period for any meaningful goal should be measured in months, not days. Checking your weight every morning will drive you insane. Checking your business revenue every hour will paralyze you. Trust the seed. Water it daily. And stop digging it up. Phase 2 is called measure the invisible. Just because results are not visible to others does not mean they cannot be tracked. Find metrics that show progress before the big results arrive. In fitness, this might be the weight you lift going up, even if the scale stays the same. In business, this might be the number of people you reach, even if sales have not started. In skill development, this might be the reduction in mistakes, even if mastery feels far away. These invisible metrics are your proof that the bamboo roots are spreading. They keep you sane when the world sees nothing. Phase 3 is called protect the foundation. During the invisible build, you are vulnerable. You have invested effort, but have nothing to show for it. This is when doubt attacks. This is when other people question what you are doing. This is when the temptation to quit is strongest. You must protect this period like your life depends on it, because your future life does depend on it. Do not discuss your goals with people who do not understand the invisible build. Do not compare your day 1 to someone else's year 5. Do not let the absence of visible progress convince you that invisible progress is not happening. Think about constructing a skyscraper. The first 12 months might be spent entirely underground. Engineers dig deep into the earth, pour thousands of tons of concrete, install complex support systems that no one will ever see. A person walking by might think nothing is happening. The lot looks empty. The progress seems non-existent. But without that year of invisible work, the 100-story tower could never stand. The invisible build is not wasted time. It is the only reason the visible results become possible. Most people are not willing to work underground. They want to skip straight to the penthouse view. They want to post the success without paying the dues. And that is exactly why most people will never build anything that lasts. Their structures collapse because they have no foundation. Their achievements crumble because they were built on shortcuts and impatience. You are different, or at least you are deciding to be different. You are deciding to embrace the invisible build, to trust the process, to keep watering the seed even when nothing seems to grow. This decision separates the extraordinary from the average more than any other factor. Talent does not matter if you quit during the invisible build. Intelligence does not matter if you abandon the process before it compounds. The only thing that matters is your willingness to keep going when you cannot see the results. Let me leave you with this. Right now, today, you are in an invisible build of some kind. Maybe you just started and results are months away. Maybe you are in the middle and doubt is creeping in. Maybe you are close to breakthrough but do not know it yet. Wherever you are, I need you to understand something crucial. The work is working, even if you cannot see it, even if no one else can see it. Every rep, every hour, Every sacrifice is adding to a root system that will one day support growth you cannot currently imagine. But there is something that can kill your bamboo tree even if you do everything else right. It is not lack of effort. It is not lack of time. It is something far more dangerous, and it is hiding in your pocket right now, waiting to steal your attention and murder your future. In the next chapter, we will expose these attention thieves by name. We will identify exactly what is draining your focus, your energy, and your potential. And we will declare war on every single one of them. What you discover might make you uncomfortable. Good. Discomfort is the price of freedom. The roots are growing. Now it is time to protect them. Chapter 4. Attention Thieves. Name your enemies. The most disciplined people in the world do not have more willpower than you. And the most distracted people in the world do not have less willpower than you. The difference has nothing to do with internal strength. The difference is that one group has identified their enemies by name, and the other group is being robbed blind without even knowing who the thieves are. Today, you will meet your thieves face to face. And once you see them, you can never unsee them. There is a war happening right now for the most valuable resource you possess. Not your money, not your time, your attention. Billion-dollar companies hire the smartest engineers and psychologists on the planet for one purpose: to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible. They do not care about your goals. They do not care about your future. They care about keeping your eyes on their screens because every second of your attention is worth money to them. You are not the customer. You are the product, and you are being sold every single day. Let me name the thieves, not in vague terms, but specifically, so you can recognize them in your own life. The first thief is the scroll. Social media platforms are engineered to be infinite. There is no bottom to the feed. There is no natural stopping point. This is not an accident. It is designed to exploit a vulnerability in your brain called variable reward. Your brain releases dopamine not when you find something interesting, but when you might find something interesting. The possibility of reward is more addictive than the reward itself. So you scroll, hoping the next post will be the one that satisfies you. It never does. But you keep scrolling anyway, because maybe the next one will. An hour disappears. Then 2. Then your entire evening. And what do you have to show for it? Nothing. You consumed content that you will not remember tomorrow, created by people who do not know you exist, while your actual goals collected dust. The second thief is the stream. Video platforms, streaming services, endless entertainment on demand. One episode becomes 5. One video becomes 50. The algorithm learns exactly what keeps you watching and serves you more of it. You tell yourself you are relaxing, unwinding, taking a break. But breaks have endings. This does not. You are not relaxing. You are numbing. You are using entertainment as anesthesia to avoid the discomfort of doing hard things. Every hour you spend watching someone else's life is an hour you did not spend building your own. The third thief is the phantom buzz. Your phone vibrates, and you check it immediately. Sometimes it did not even vibrate, but you check it anyway. This is not connection. This is addiction. The average person checks their phone over 150 times per day. That is once every 6 minutes during waking hours. Every single check is an interruption. Every interruption breaks your focus. And deep focus, the kind required to build anything meaningful, takes 23 minutes to fully restore after an interruption. Do the math. If you check your phone 10 times in a work session, you never achieve deep focus at all. You spend the entire time in shallow mental waters, never diving deep enough to find anything valuable. The fourth thief is the gossip. Other people's drama, celebrity news, who said what to whom, endless commentary about events that have zero impact on your life. This thief is sneaky because it disguises itself as staying informed or being social. But there is a difference between information that helps you and information that entertains you. Gossip and drama are mental junk food. They feel satisfying in the moment, but leave you emptier than before. And while you were discussing someone else's problems, your own problems sat waiting, unsolved and growing. The fifth thief is the most dangerous of all. It hides in shame, so people rarely talk about it. But I will talk about it because your future is more important than your comfort. Pornography. This thief does not just steal your time. It rewires your brain. It floods your system with dopamine levels that normal life cannot match, making everything else feel boring and unsatisfying. It trains you to seek instant gratification and avoid the delayed rewards that actually matter. It isolates you, shames you, and convinces you that you need it to cope. You do not. It is not helping you cope. It is helping you hide. And every time you hide, the gap between who you are and who you could be grows wider. These are your enemies. The scroll, the stream, the phantom buzz, the gossip, and the hidden shame. They are not neutral. They are actively working against your future. And they are winning because you have not been fighting back. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Nobody is forcing you to pick up your phone. Nobody is making you open that app. Nobody is requiring you to watch another episode. These thieves do not break into your life. You invite them in. You open the door, offer them a seat, and then wonder why your house is empty. Consider two people with the same goal, the same 24 hours, the same potential. The first person wakes up and immediately surrenders to the thieves. They check social media before their feet hit the floor. They scroll through breakfast. They stream through lunch. They browse through dinner. By the time they go to sleep, they have given away 6, 7, maybe 8 hours to content they will not remember and people who will never know their name. They have perhaps 30 minutes of actual effort toward their goals, squeezed between distractions. The second person treats attention like the precious resource it is. They do not check their phone until their morning priorities are complete. They batch their entertainment into a specific window instead of spreading it throughout the day. They have identified their personal thieves and built barriers against them. This person does not have more hours than the first person, but they have more usable hours. They have reclaimed 4, 5, 6 hours every day that used to belong to the thieves. Over a year, that is over 2,000 hours. Over 5 years, that is 10,000 hours. The number required for mastery in any field. The gap between these two people has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with who controls their attention. Now you might be feeling defensive. You might be thinking that you deserve to relax, that you cannot work all the time, that everyone needs entertainment. I am not telling you to become a monk. I am telling you to become conscious. There is a difference between choosing to watch a show for an hour and losing 4 hours because you could not stop clicking. There is a difference between intentional rest and mindless escape. The thieves count on you not knowing the difference. They count on you confusing numbing with resting. True rest restores you. You finish and feel better than when you started. Theft exhausts you. You finish and feel worse, often guilty, often drained, often disappointed in yourself. You know the feeling, that hollowness after a social media binge, that emptiness after hours of streaming nothing in particular, that shame after visiting places online you swore you would never visit again. This is how you know you have been robbed. The thieves always leave you poorer than they found you. Your attention is your life. Where your attention goes, your time goes. Where your time goes, your results go. If your attention belongs to the thieves, your results will be theft. Empty, gone, nothing to show for the days and weeks and years that passed. But identifying the thieves is only the first step. Knowing their names does not stop them from robbing you. You need a system for cutting them out of your life permanently, not through willpower alone, but through strategic elimination that makes theft nearly impossible. In the next chapter, I will give you that system. It is called the Cut It Out Rule, and it is ruthless. It does not negotiate with thieves. It does not try to manage them or moderate them. It removes them entirely. What you will learn is not popular. It is not comfortable, but it works. And in a world full of methods that feel good but fail, something that actually works is worth more than gold. The thieves have been exposed. Now it is time to execute them. Chapter 5. The Cut It Out Rule. There is a reason the most successful people in the world seem almost ruthless about what they allow into their lives. There is a reason they say no more than they say yes. There is a reason their schedules, their relationships, and their environments look stripped down to the essentials. And this reason is something the self-help industry will never tell you, because it does not sell products. It does not require apps or programs or subscriptions. It is free, it is brutal, and it works. The secret is this: elimination beats moderation. Every single time. You have been told your entire life that balance is the key. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Everything in moderation. This advice sounds wise. It feels reasonable. And it is the exact reason you are still struggling. Moderation is a lie sold to people who are not ready to make hard choices. Moderation is the compromise you make when you want results but do not want to pay the full price. And the brutal truth is this: moderation does not work for things that are designed to be addictive. You cannot moderately check social media. The platforms are engineered to make one check become 20. You cannot moderately watch streaming content. The algorithms are built to make one episode become one season. You cannot moderately engage with any of the attention thieves we discussed. They are not designed for moderation. They are designed for consumption. And if you try to moderate something designed for consumption, you will lose. Not because you are weak, but because you are fighting a battle that cannot be won on those terms. The cut it out rule is simple. If something consistently steals from your future, you do not manage it. You do not limit it. You do not try to find a healthy balance with it. You cut it out. Completely. Ruthlessly. Without negotiation. Think about a surgeon removing a tumor. The surgeon does not try to find balance with the cancer. The surgeon does not leave a little bit of tumor behind to keep things moderate. The surgeon cuts it out entirely, with clean margins, making sure nothing remains that could grow back. Your attention thieves are tumors on your future, and you need to become the surgeon. Let me show you how this works in practice. The first step is identification. You already did this in the previous chapter. You know the thieves by name. The scroll, the stream, the phantom buzz, the gossip, the hidden shame. But knowing is not enough. You must now categorize them by the damage they cause. Ask yourself 3 questions about each distraction in your life. First, does this consistently take more from me than it gives? Be honest. Social media might occasionally provide useful information, but does it give more than it takes? For most people, the answer is a devastating no. They spend hours and receive minutes of value in return. Second, can I truly control my consumption of this? Or does it control me? If you have tried to limit something multiple times and failed, you have your answer. You cannot control it. It controls you. Third, would my life be meaningfully worse without this? Or would it actually be better? Strip away the fear of missing out. Strip away the habit. Would your actual life, your goals, your relationships, your mental health be worse? Or would removing this thing create space for something better? If something takes more than it gives, if you cannot control it, and if your life would be better without it, the prescription is not moderation. The prescription is elimination. Now here is where people resist. They say they need these things for work, for connection, for information. Let me address each excuse. If you need social media for work, create a separate account used only for work purposes, with no personal feed, checked only during designated work hours. That is not the same as having unlimited access to a personal account designed to addict you. If you need it for connection, ask yourself, when was the last time scrolling actually made you feel more connected? Real connection happens in person, on calls, through direct messages with people who matter. The feed is not connection. It is the illusion of connection that prevents you from seeking the real thing. If you need it for information, recognize that important information finds you. If something truly matters, you will hear about it. You do not need to swim in an ocean of noise to catch the few drops of signal. The second step is surgical removal. This is not a gradual reduction. This is an amputation. Delete the apps from your phone. Not tomorrow. Today. Delete them now if you can. If you cannot delete them, remove them from your home screen and bury them in folders that require effort to access. Log out of every account so that accessing it requires friction. Install website blockers on your computer. Tell someone what you are doing so that accountability exists outside your own wavering willpower. Consider the difference between 2 approaches. The first approach is moderation. You tell yourself you will only check social media twice a day for 15 minutes each. Day 1, you succeed. Day 2, you check 3 times. Day 3, 15 minutes becomes 45. By day 7, you are back to your old patterns, plus the added shame of having failed again. The moderation approach relies entirely on willpower, and willpower is a limited resource that depletes throughout the day. The second approach is elimination. You delete the apps. Day 1 feels uncomfortable. You reach for your phone and the app is not there. Day 2, the reaching happens less. Day 3, you start to notice extra time you did not have before. By day 7, the urge has significantly weakened. By day 30, you wonder how you ever spent so much time on something so empty. The elimination approach does not rely on willpower. It relies on environment design. You cannot consume what you cannot access. The third step is replacement. Elimination creates a vacuum, and vacuums demand to be filled. If you cut out the thieves but replace them with nothing, you will eventually return to them out of pure boredom. You must consciously decide what will fill the space. This is where your goals become practical. The 2 hours you used to spend scrolling can now be spent building. The energy you used to waste on other people's drama can now fuel your own progress. The attention you used to scatter across 1,000 meaningless inputs can now focus like a laser on the few things that actually matter. Think about a garden. Weeds steal water, nutrients, and sunlight from the plants you actually want to grow. You can try to manage the weeds, trimming them back occasionally, keeping them at a tolerable level. But they will always compete with your crops. They will always steal resources. The only way to give your garden its full potential is to pull the weeds out by the root and keep pulling them whenever they return. Your attention is the soil. Your goals are the crops. The thieves are the weeds. Stop managing them. Remove them. There is a reason this approach is not popular. It requires sacrifice. It requires admitting that you have been wasting your life on things that do not matter. It requires facing the discomfort of boredom, the silence that comes when you stop numbing yourself with constant stimulation. Most people would rather stay comfortable and stuck than uncomfortable and growing. That is why most people never build anything significant. They keep their thieves, and their thieves keep their future. You are not most people. You have already decided that nobody is coming to save you. You have already left the waiting room. You have already committed to the invisible build. Now you are removing everything that threatens to sabotage your progress. But there is one category of thief we have not fully addressed. It is not an app. It is not a platform. It is not a screen. It is something far more insidious because it comes disguised as support, as friendship, as family. It is the people around you whose voices fill your head with doubt, criticism, and limitations. In the next chapter, we will learn how to isolate the noise of other people's opinions so completely that their words lose all power over your actions. This is not about becoming cold or disconnected. This is about protecting your vision from those who cannot see it. What you will learn is the difference between people who build their dreams and people who let others talk them out of trying. The thieves of your attention have been cut. Now it is time to silence the thieves of your belief. Chapter 6. Noise Isolation. Silence the world. 5 years from now, you will look back at this exact moment in your life. You will either see the turning point where everything changed, or you will see another missed opportunity buried under a pile of other people's opinions. The voices that surround you today, the doubters, the critics, the well-meaning friends and family who told you to be realistic, will either be a distant memory you laugh about or the reason you never tried. Which future you live depends entirely on what you do with those voices right now. Here is a truth that will set you free if you let it. Other people's opinions do not pay your bills. Their doubts do not feed your family. Their limitations do not have to become yours. And their inability to see your vision does not mean your vision is wrong. It means they are blind, and you have been letting blind people give you directions. The noise of the world is constant. From the moment you wake up until the moment you sleep, voices compete for space in your head. Some are external, people telling you what you should do, what is realistic, what you are capable of. Some are internal, the echoes of past criticisms that you have heard so many times they now sound like your own thoughts. This noise is not neutral. It is actively shaping your decisions, your confidence, and your future. And most of it is garbage. Let me be specific about where this noise comes from. The first source is crabs in a bucket. If you put one crab in a bucket, it will climb out easily. But if you put multiple crabs in a bucket, none of them will escape. Whenever one tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. This is not a metaphor. This is exactly how most social environments work. The moment you try to rise above the average, the people around you will try to pull you back, not always out of malice, often out of their own fear and insecurity. Your ambition reminds them of their stagnation. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your growth threatens the comfortable equilibrium of the group. So they pull, they criticize, they question, they plant seeds of doubt disguised as concern. The second source is inherited limitations. Your parents, teachers, and mentors gave you many things. Some were gifts, some were prisons. The beliefs about what is possible, what is appropriate, what someone like you can achieve, these were handed to you before you were old enough to question them. If your parents never built wealth, you might carry an unconscious belief that wealth is not for people like you. If your teachers praised your compliance more than your creativity, you might carry an unconscious belief that staying in line is safer than standing out. These inherited limitations live in your head, speaking in your own voice, and you do not even recognize them as invaders. The third source is society's script. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work for 40 years, retire, die. This script was written for a world that no longer exists. It was designed to produce obedient factory workers and predictable consumers. Yet billions of people still follow it without question, and they will aggressively defend it against anyone who chooses a different path. When you reject the script, you become a threat, not to them personally, but to the validity of their choices. If you can succeed without following the rules, what does that say about their decision to follow them? So they push back. They call you naive, reckless, unrealistic. They are not protecting you. They are protecting themselves from the discomfort of your example. Now consider the difference between two people navigating this noise. The first person hears criticism and immediately internalizes it. A family member says the business idea will never work, and they abandon it. A friend says the goal is unrealistic, and they lower their standards. A coworker says they are not the type to succeed, and they believe it. This person is a radio with no dial, receiving every signal broadcast in their direction, unable to filter the static from the music. Their life becomes a collage of other people's fears and limitations, assembled without their consent. The second person has built what I call a noise isolation system. They hear the same criticism, but it hits a wall before reaching their core beliefs. They evaluate feedback based on its source. They ask a simple question: has this person achieved what I am trying to achieve? If the answer is no, the opinion is discarded. Not with anger, not with argument, just quiet dismissal. This person understands that advice from someone who has never built anything is worthless for someone who is building. They protect their vision like a flame in the wind, cupping their hands around it until it grows strong enough to burn on its own. Here is how to build your own noise isolation system. The first principle is source filtering. Before you let any opinion affect you, examine where it comes from. A person drowning in debt should not give you financial advice. A person who has never taken a risk should not evaluate your risks. A person who quit on their dreams should not comment on the viability of yours. This is not arrogance. This is basic logic. You would not take swimming lessons from someone who has never been in water. Stop taking life lessons from people who have never lived the life you want. The second principle is the bill test. When someone offers an opinion about your life, ask yourself a simple question: does this person pay my bills? If not, their opinion is entertainment at best, distraction at worst. You can listen politely if social circumstances require it, but you do not let it penetrate. You do not let it alter your course. The only opinions that matter are from people who have skin in your game. Everyone else is just noise pretending to be signal. The third principle is selective broadcast. Stop announcing your goals to people who cannot support them. Every time you share your vision with someone who doubts it, you give them ammunition to shoot it down. You invite their noise into your mental space. Instead, share your goals only with people who have earned the right to hear them. People who have demonstrated belief in you. People who have achieved what you are pursuing. People who will challenge you to rise, not convince you to settle. Everyone else gets the surface. They see the results when you are ready to show them. They do not get access to the fragile early stages when doubt can be fatal. Think about a seed again. When a seed is first planted, it is vulnerable. The tiniest disturbance can prevent it from taking root. A bird can eat it. A flood can wash it away. A footstep can crush it. But once that seed has grown into a tree, it can withstand storms, droughts, and even fire. Your vision works the same way. In the early stages, protect it fiercely. Do not expose it to every passing opinion. Do not let careless words crush it before it has a chance to grow. Nurture it in private until it is strong enough to survive in public. There is a lonely quality to this work. When you isolate the noise, you may find yourself standing apart from people you once felt close to. You may find that conversations become shorter because you are no longer interested in discussing limitations. You may find that some relationships fade because they were built on shared complaints rather than shared growth. This is the price of building something extraordinary, and you must decide if you are willing to pay it. But there is another kind of noise that is even harder to escape. It does not come from other people. It comes from within you. It is the voice that speaks up when the work gets hard, when the results take too long, when every part of you wants to quit. In the next chapter, we will face that voice directly. We will go to the wall, the moment when discipline is tested most severely, and I will show you why that moment is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of everything you actually came here to build. The world has been silenced. Now it is time to face yourself. Chapter 7. The Wall, When You Want to Quit. There is a moment coming for you, if it has not arrived already. A moment when every cell in your body screams to stop. A moment when the voice in your head presents a perfectly logical case for quitting. A moment when the pain of continuing feels unbearable and the relief of giving up feels like the only sane choice. This moment has a name. It is called the wall, and what you do when you hit it will determine everything. Here is what nobody tells you about the wall. It is not the end. It is the entrance exam, and 96% of people fail it. The wall appears in every meaningful pursuit. In fitness, it is the moment when your muscles burn so intensely that your brain begs you to drop the weight. In business, it is the month when expenses exceed revenue and every indicator says this will never work. In relationships, it is the conversation so difficult that walking away seems easier than working through. In discipline itself, it is the morning when you have been consistent for weeks but feel no different, see no results, and cannot remember why you started. The wall is universal. Everyone who pursues anything worthwhile will meet it. The only question is whether you will climb over or turn back. Most people turn back. They hit the wall and interpret it as a sign that they chose the wrong path, that this is not meant to be, that they should try something else. They do not realize they are standing at the exact spot where success begins. They do not understand that the wall is not blocking their path. The wall is the path. Everything before the wall was just the qualification round. The real race starts now. Think about what happens when you lift weights. The first several repetitions feel manageable. You are moving the weight, but the muscle is not really being challenged. It is operating within its current capacity. Then comes the point where the movement becomes difficult. This is where most people stop. But the muscle does not grow from the easy repetitions. The muscle only grows from the repetitions that feel impossible. Those final reps, the ones that burn, the ones you have to fight for, those are the only ones that count. Everything before them was just the warm-up. The wall in your pursuits works the same way. The easy part does not build you. The wall builds you. And if you never push through the wall, you never actually grow. Let me show you the difference between two people facing the wall. The first person has been building a business for 8 months. They have invested savings, sacrificed weekends, and worked harder than ever before. But the results are not there yet. Customers are slow to come. Revenue barely covers costs. Friends and family are asking when they will give up and get a real job. One morning, they wake up and the weight of it all feels crushing. They cannot see a path forward. They cannot find the motivation that used to fuel them. They hit the wall, and they make a decision. They tell themselves they gave it a good try, that some things are not meant to be, that they will learn from this and move on. They quit. 3 months later, they find out that a competitor who started after them just broke through. The market was about to turn. The wall was the final test before the breakthrough, and they failed it. The second person faces the same wall. Same doubt, same exhaustion, same logical arguments for quitting, but they make a different decision. They do not quit. not because they feel motivated. Motivation died weeks ago. They continue because they made a commitment that exists independent of their feelings. They continue because they understand that the wall is supposed to feel impossible. That is its purpose. The wall filters out everyone who is not serious. Everyone who wanted the result, but not the process. Everyone who confused interest with commitment. This person pushes through one painful day at a time, sometimes one painful hour at a time. And eventually, the wall ends. Not with fireworks, not with sudden transformation, but with gradual evidence that the work is working. The breakthrough that the first person missed, the second person claims. The difference between these two people is not talent. It is not luck. It is not resources. It is their relationship with the wall. One saw it as a signal to stop. One saw it as a test to pass. Here is what you need to understand about the physiology of the wall. When you are exhausted, when you are depleted, when every instinct tells you to quit, your body is lying to you. Research on endurance athletes reveals something fascinating. When runners feel they have nothing left, when they are certain they cannot take another step, they have actually only used about 40% of their true capacity. 40%. The feeling of being completely empty is a survival mechanism, a built-in safety margin that your brain uses to protect you from danger. But in the modern world, this mechanism is wildly miscalibrated. You are not running from predators. You are building a future, and the danger your brain perceives is not real. The wall is your brain lying to you about your limits. How do you push through a wall that feels impossible? You do it by changing your relationship with discomfort. Most people view discomfort as a signal to stop. Elite performers view discomfort as a signal that growth is happening. They do not enjoy the pain. Nobody enjoys the pain, but they have reframed its meaning. When they feel the burn, they know they are in the growth zone. When they feel the doubt, they know they are being tested. When they feel the urge to quit, they know they are exactly where they need to be. The practical technique for pushing through the wall is brutally simple. You shrink the time horizon until it becomes manageable. When the wall feels infinite, you do not think about finishing the whole journey. You think about finishing the next minute. Can you keep going for 60 more seconds? Yes, you can. Anyone can endure anything for 60 seconds. And when that minute is over, you ask the same question again. 1 minute at a time, you move through what felt impossible. You do not need to see the end. You only need to survive the next step. There is another truth about the wall that brings perspective. The wall is not unique to you. Every single person who ever achieved anything significant hit the same wall you are facing. They felt the same doubt. They heard the same voice telling them to quit. They faced the same logical arguments for giving up. The only difference between them and the millions who gave up is that they kept going. Not because they were special, because they refused to let the wall have the final word. Your wall is not a punishment. It is a promotion. It is the universe asking if you are serious about your goals or just casually interested. Casual interest folds at the wall. Serious commitment climbs over. And on the other side of that wall is everything you said you wanted. But here is the part they do not put in the motivational speeches. Sometimes you will not climb over the wall. Sometimes you will fall. Sometimes you will push with everything you have and still end up on the ground, exhausted, defeated, wondering if you have what it takes. What happens then? What do you do when discipline fails, when your best was not enough, when falling seems like the final verdict? In the next chapter, we will confront falling directly, not to avoid it, but to master it. You will learn why falling is not failure, why staying down is the only true defeat, and how to turn every collapse into a comeback. The wall knocked you down. Now it is time to learn the art of rising. Chapter 8. The Art of Rising. Fall Forward. The most successful people in history are not the ones who never fell. They are the ones who fell more times than average people even tried. They failed more businesses, faced more rejections, made more mistakes, and hit the ground harder and more often than anyone around them. And yet they are the ones standing at the top. This seems like a contradiction until you understand the one thing they all have in common. They mastered the art of rising. They learned that falling is not failure. Staying down is. Let me destroy a myth that has been crippling you. You have been taught that successful people get it right, that they see opportunities clearly, make smart decisions, and avoid the pitfalls that trap everyone else. This is a lie. Successful people get it wrong constantly. They stumble in the dark like everyone else. The difference is what happens after the stumble. Average people fall and interpret it as evidence that they should not have tried. Elite performers fall and interpret it as education they could not have received any other way. Consider how a child learns to walk. No child walks perfectly on the first attempt. They stand, wobble, and fall. Then they stand again, wobble again, and fall again. They do this hundreds of times before walking becomes natural. Now imagine if that child interpreted falling as failure. Imagine if, after the 10th fall, they decided walking was not for them. Imagine if they concluded that some people are walkers and some people are crawlers, and they must be crawlers. That child would never walk. This sounds absurd, yet this is exactly how most adults approach their goals. They try, they fall, and they conclude that success must not be meant for them. They never consider that falling is simply part of the process, not a verdict on their potential. The art of rising begins with reframing what falling means. When you fall, you have not failed. You have collected data. You now know one way that does not work, one approach that needs adjustment, one weakness that needs strengthening. This data is priceless. It cannot be acquired through reading or observation. It can only be earned through action and consequence. Every fall makes your next attempt more informed. Every collapse teaches you something standing never could. Think about a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal must be heated until it glows red, then hammered repeatedly, then plunged into cold water. This process is violent. If the metal could feel, it would experience what seems like destruction. But through this apparent destruction, the metal becomes stronger, sharper, and more resilient than it was before. It becomes a weapon capable of cutting through obstacles that would have bent or broken the original material. Your falls are the hammer strikes. They feel like damage, but they are actually refinement. Each one removes weakness and reveals strength you did not know you had. Let me show you the difference between two people who experienced the same fall. The first person starts a project that fails publicly. People saw them announce it, watched them work on it, and witnessed it collapse. The embarrassment feels unbearable. They replay the failure in their mind constantly. They avoid situations where it might be mentioned. They let the fall define them, becoming someone who tried and failed rather than someone who is still trying. Months pass, years pass. They never start another project because the memory of that fall keeps them paralyzed. One failure became a life sentence because they never learned to rise. The second person experiences the same public failure, the same embarrassment, the same pain, the same sleepless nights questioning everything. But after a period of processing, something shifts. They begin dissecting the failure like a surgeon examining a body. What exactly went wrong? What assumptions were incorrect? What skills were missing? What would need to change for the next attempt to succeed? They extract every lesson the failure has to offer. Then they rise. Not immediately, not without scars, but they rise. And when they start their next project, they carry the wisdom of the fall. They are not starting from zero. They are starting from experience. Their second attempt succeeds where the first one failed, not despite the failure, but because of it. The difference between these two people is not resilience as a personality trait. It is resilience as a choice. The first person chose to let the fall be final. The second person chose to let the fall be formative. Both options were available to both people. Only the second person made the choice that leads to growth. Here is a practical framework for rising after you fall. The first phase is called the descent. When you fall, you will feel the impact. Do not pretend you are fine. Do not rush to positivity. The descent hurts, and denying the hurt does not make you stronger. It makes you brittle. Give yourself permission to feel the disappointment, the frustration, the grief over what you lost or what did not work. But put a time limit on the descent. 1 day, 1 week, whatever feels appropriate for the magnitude of the fall. During this time, you process. You do not make permanent decisions in temporary emotional states. The second phase is called the autopsy. Once the initial emotion has passed, you examine the fall with clinical detachment, not to assign blame or wallow in regret, but to understand. What factors contributed? Which were in your control and which were not? What would you do differently with the knowledge you have now? Write this down. Make the lessons tangible. The autopsy transforms a painful experience into a valuable document you can reference forever. The third phase is called the resurrection. Armed with the lessons from your autopsy, you rise. You do not rise to repeat the same attempt. You rise to make a better attempt. You adjust your approach based on what you learned. You strengthen the areas that were weak. You prepare for obstacles you now know exist. The resurrection is not about trying again. It is about trying smarter. Falling forward means that even when you fall, you land closer to your goal than where you started. Every fall that teaches you something is a fall in the right direction. Every collapse that reveals a weakness is an opportunity to build strength. The only fall that moves you backward is the fall you refuse to rise from. That fall keeps you exactly where you landed, while time moves forward without you. There is a question you must ask yourself after every fall. It is not "why did this happen to me?" That question leads to victimhood. The question is "what is this teaching me?" That question leads to growth. The difference between these two questions is the difference between people who are destroyed by adversity and people who are built by it. You will fall again. I guarantee it. Somewhere on the path you are walking, there is a fall waiting for you. Maybe it is tomorrow. Maybe it is next year. But it is coming. And when it arrives, you will have a choice. You can let it end your journey, or you can let it improve your journey. You can stay down and become a cautionary tale, or you can rise and become an inspiration. But rising from failure is only half the battle. The full transformation happens when you take complete ownership of your life. Not just the failures, but everything. Every circumstance, every outcome, every aspect of your existence becomes your responsibility. In the next chapter, we will explore what it means to sit in the driver's seat of your life and never let anyone else touch the wheel again. You have learned to rise. Now it is time to take control. Chapter 9. The Driver's Seat. Own your life. There is a secret that separates people who build extraordinary lives from people who merely exist. It has nothing to do with intelligence, education, connections, or luck. It is so simple that most people dismiss it, so uncomfortable that most people avoid it, and so powerful that once you truly understand it, you can never go back to the way you lived before. The secret is this: everything in your life is your fault. Everything. And the moment you accept this, you become unstoppable. This is not a popular message. The world wants to give you excuses. The economy is bad. The system is rigged. Your parents damaged you. Your boss holds you back. Your circumstances are uniquely difficult. Society feeds you these excuses because excuses keep you manageable, predictable, and dependent. But every excuse you accept is a piece of your power you give away. Every time you blame something outside yourself, you admit that something outside yourself controls your life. You declare yourself a passenger, and passengers do not choose their destination. The driver's seat is a position of total responsibility. When you sit in the driver's seat, you accept that where you are right now is the result of decisions you made. Your bank account reflects your financial decisions. Your body reflects your health decisions. Your relationships reflect your relationship decisions. Your skills reflect your learning decisions. Nothing about your current situation happened to you. It happened because of you. This is brutal to accept. It means you cannot blame your parents, your past, your country, or your circumstances. It means you must look in the mirror and acknowledge that the person staring back is responsible for everything you see. But here's the part most people miss. This responsibility is not a burden. It is a liberation. If everything is your fault, then everything is within your power to change. If your decisions created your current reality, then different decisions can create a different reality. The moment you stop being a victim of your circumstances, you become the architect of your future. You take the wheel. You choose the direction. You determine the speed. Nobody else. Just you. Consider the difference between two people facing the same difficult situation. Both grew up in poverty. Both had absent fathers. Both attended underfunded schools. Both faced discrimination and limited opportunities. The first person uses this history as an explanation for their current struggles. They point to their past whenever they fall short. They believe the game was rigged against them from the start, so why bother playing hard? They are not wrong about the disadvantages. The disadvantages were real, but by making those disadvantages their identity, they ensure that disadvantages last forever. They sit in the passenger seat of their own life, waiting for the road to become easier. The second person acknowledges the same history, but refuses to let it define their future. They say, yes, I started behind. Yes, the obstacles were real, but my past does not own my future. I own my future. They work twice as hard because they know they have to. They build twice as smart because they cannot afford mistakes. They take complete responsibility for their outcomes, even when circumstances are genuinely unfair. This person is not delusional about the challenges they face. They are simply unwilling to let those challenges have the final word. They sit in the driver's seat, and they drive harder because the road is rough. 20 years later, these two people live in completely different realities. Same starting point, same obstacles, different relationship with responsibility, different results. Here is how you take the driver's seat in your own life. The first step is eliminating blame from your vocabulary. Starting today, you do not blame anyone for anything. Not your parents for your childhood, not your ex for your trust issues, not your boss for your stalled career, not the government for your financial situation, not the weather for your mood. Nothing. When something goes wrong, your first question is always, what did I do or not do that contributed to this outcome? Even if your contribution was only 10%, focus on that 10%, because that is the 10% you can control. That is the 10% you can change. The second step is eliminating complaining. Complaining is blame's lazy cousin. When you complain, you broadcast that something is wrong and simultaneously declare that you will not fix it. Complaining is the sound of someone sitting in the passenger seat, criticizing the driver while refusing to take the wheel. From this moment forward, you have two options when you encounter a problem: fix it or accept it. If you can fix it, fix it. If you cannot fix it, accept it and move forward. There is no third option called complain about it endlessly while doing nothing. The third step is extreme ownership of outcomes. This concept comes from the battlefield but applies to every area of life. When you lead a project and it fails, you do not blame your team, your resources, or your timeline. You own the failure entirely. You say, I failed because I did not prepare my team well enough. I did not secure adequate resources. I did not create a realistic timeline. This sounds like self-punishment, but it is actually self-empowerment. When you own the failure completely, you also own the power to prevent that failure next time. When you blame others, you hand them that power and hope they change. Spoiler, they will not change. You must change. Think about driving an actual car. When you are in the passenger seat, you experience the journey, but you do not control it. The driver might take wrong turns, drive too slowly, or head somewhere you do not want to go. You can complain, suggest, or argue, but ultimately you are at their mercy. Now imagine switching seats. Suddenly you control the steering, the speed, the destination. The journey becomes yours. Yes, you are responsible if you crash. Yes, you are accountable for every wrong turn. But you are also free. Free to go anywhere, at any speed, by any route you choose. Most people spend their entire lives in the passenger seat of their own existence. They wait for someone else to drive them toward happiness, success, and fulfillment. They wait for a boss to give them a promotion, a partner to make them feel complete, a government to create opportunities, a miracle to change their circumstances. They wait and wait and wait. And while they wait, the drivers in life, the people who took responsibility, the people who grabbed the wheel, they drive past. They reach destinations the passengers only dreamed about. You have been a passenger long enough. You have blamed enough. You have complained enough. You have waited for external change long enough. The driver's seat has been empty this entire time, waiting for you to claim it. Every chapter of this book has been leading to this moment. You left the waiting room. You committed to the invisible build. You cut out the attention thieves. You silenced the noise. You learned to push through walls and rise from falls. Now you take ownership of everything. No more excuses. No more blame. No more waiting for someone else to save you. There is only one question left. You have the knowledge. You have the frameworks. You understand what separates those who build their future from those who waste it. But knowledge without action is useless. In the final chapter, we will confront the only decision that actually matters. Day 1 or 1 day. The choice that will determine whether everything you learn transforms your life or becomes another motivational experience you forget by next week. You are in the driver's seat. Now where will you go? Chapter 10. Day 1 or 1 day. Your choice. Close your eyes and travel forward in time. It is exactly 1 year from today. You are waking up, looking at your life. There are only 2 possible versions of that morning. In the first version, nothing has changed. Same struggles, same frustrations, same distance between who you are and who you want to be. You remember listening to this audiobook. You remember feeling something shift inside you. But life got busy, old habits crept back, and the fire slowly died. You became another person who knew what to do but never did it. That morning, 1 year from now, regret presses down on your chest like a weight you cannot lift. In the second version, you barely recognize the person in the mirror. You carry yourself differently. You think differently. You have become someone who does what they say they will do. The past year was not easy. There were walls, falls, and days when discipline felt impossible. But you kept going. That morning, you feel something you have not felt in years. Pride. Genuine pride in who you have become. Both mornings are available to you right now. The only thing that determines which one you live is a decision you make today. This is the choice between day 1 and 1 day. Day 1 is a commitment. It is drawing a line and declaring that the real work begins now. Day 1 is action, identity, transformation. 1 day is a fantasy. 1 day I will get in shape. 1 day I will start that business. 1 day I will become disciplined. 1 day is a graveyard where dreams die slowly, painlessly, without anyone noticing until it is too late. Let me remind you what you now know. You know that nobody is coming to save you. The cavalry is not arriving. The only person who can change your life is staring back at you in the mirror. You know about the waiting room syndrome, the trap that keeps people planning instead of building. You know no one will call your name. You must walk out yourself. You know about the invisible build, the bamboo tree growing roots for over a year before exploding upward. You understand that invisible progress is still progress. You know who your attention thieves are. The scroll, the stream, the phantom buzz, the gossip, the hidden shame. You know they cannot take what you do not give them. You know how to silence the noise, how to filter opinions based on their source, how to protect your vision from crabs who want to pull you back. You know about the wall, that it is not a stop sign but an entrance exam, that when you feel empty, you have barely touched your true reserves. You know the art of rising, that falling is education, not failure. You know about the driver's seat, that everything in your life is your responsibility, that blame is surrender and ownership is power. You know everything you need to know. The question is no longer about knowledge. The question is about action. Will you act on what you know, or will you let this become another piece of information that changed nothing? Here is the brutal truth about transformation. It does not happen in inspired moments. It happens in boring moments. When you wake up tired and go to the gym anyway. When you turn off the entertainment and do the work anyway. When every excuse sounds valid and you ignore them anyway. Inspiration is the spark. Discipline is the fuel. You cannot build a fire with only sparks. I want you to do something right now. Think of one action you have been postponing. Something you know you need to do, but have been avoiding because it is hard or uncomfortable. Maybe it is a conversation. Maybe it is a habit. Maybe it is a project. Whatever it is, commit to doing it within the next 24 hours. Not thinking about it, doing it. This is your first test. This is how you prove that today is day 1. The person who finishes this audiobook and does nothing is no different from the person who never started it. Information without implementation is entertainment. You did not come here to be entertained. You came here to be transformed. Nobody is coming to save you. I have said it throughout this entire book, and I will say it one final time. Nobody is coming. Not your parents, not your boss, not luck, not fate, not a future version of you who has more motivation. The only person who can save your future is you, and you can only save it through action taken today. So here is your choice. Day 1 or 1 day. Commitment or postponement. The driver's seat or the passenger seat. Building your future or watching it slip away. I believe you did not listen to this entire book by accident. Something in you is ready for change. The person you are meant to become is waiting on the other side of the actions you have been avoiding. Today is day one. Say it out loud. Say it like you mean it. Today is day one. Nobody is coming to save me. I am here. I am the one I have been waiting for. And I am done waiting. Now close this book and go prove it.